Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Broston County, part 33 in this City Skylines series, where I have been building the region of Broston County with my good friend Destin. I say have been because this is it. This is the last one. Broston County is done with this one, and the timing as well. And I don't mean the timing in relation to City Skylines 2, because what a train wreck that is. The mods and the game itself are kind of at the limits here in Broston County. It's a big region, and we keep getting errors about path limits or path routing. I think it's routing options or something like that. I can't remember the exact phrasing of it, but we do keep getting a message. Destin, you lazy bum. We saw you all put water pipes not under the roads where they belong. For shame. Anyways, yeah, it's been showing the age of the game and just pushing the limits of what mods can do and everything. But I gotta say, still a more enjoyable experience than playing Cities Skylines 2. I don't know, as of the time I'm recording this, which is yesterday for you, it's October 26th for me, I've got like 20 hours in Cities Skylines 2 now. 12.3 hours in Cities Skylines 2 now. And I can't say I've enjoyed it. It's been interesting trying to learn some of the quirks, but it's difficult to learn a new game when the game itself isn't functioning properly, with, people complaining about healthcare despite the fact that everybody's healthy. People complaining about the retail complaining about not enough customers, and yet there's massive commercial demand. The game is early access that they have charged us all full price for. And it's shameful. And it's going to take a long time before I trust Colossal Order again. A long time. Destin is building over here just across the river from the little tourist area that I made, and just across the big collector from that monstrosity of an office park that I made a couple episodes ago. Not the monstrosity of an office park I made during the live stream. I've made two horrid office parks. But he's building the smaller of the two that doesn't have a bunch of high rises and financial buildings and IT buildings and all of that. And I like the neighborhood. It's simple, but at least it gets up to the river and it fills a huge portion of this area. And I'm not sure that the residential demand is there for the amount of residential that he puts in, but it'll catch up. And if it doesn't, what I'm planning on building today will probably be more offices and retail more than anything else. There we go. They're under the road where they belong. That's better. I will just pretend he didn't do that in the other section. But yeah, this is his final input. So he went pretty big, and I'm glad to see it. That way, Broston County, the legacy of it has his fingerprints all over it, and it's a very good thing. Of course, if you go to my Steam profile and look for my workshop items, all the saves of Broston County that I upload for him to get are there. So if you want to, poke around Broston County, if there's something that you don't like that we did, well, you can download the save to Steam and change it. But he's just about wrapped up. He's going to finish a couple of services in this little neighborhood. He built for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes. He didn't give any notes as what he was going for. I don't know why. He usually does, but he didn't. So we get to see it all here together in real time. We're going to watch as things fill in and then move on to my portion of this series finale. And there we go. We are in, and you can see a little bit better of where Destin was building. Not a lot of detailing in his park there. I do like the park, but it could definitely use some detailing, but oh well. What are we going to do? There is surprisingly residential demand still. Unemployment's not really all that high. I really want to build more over here, but I just don't know that we're going to get to it today. Instead, I want to come... Oh, there it is. There it is. Path units. Transfer Manager CE telling us that there is issues. I wonder if there's something in that mod that would let me deal with it. Probably not. and it's released broken pathing. There we released 80,000. There's Ghost Vehicle 7. I don't know if that really helps or not, but we'll see. Probably not. Anyway, I kind of want to come over into this area, and I also wanted to look at something here. So he did make a connection. No, I made that connection. I kind of liked that connection that he made there. I was wondering, though, if we couldn't maybe, since there's so much traffic going here. Let me look at that. Ooh. Ouch. That's the first time I've really looked at it. That's kind of scary. But since there's so much traffic going between the two sides, I wonder if it might not be worthwhile to just have a bridge or two across and restrict trucks on them. I know our grids don't quite line up, but that's okay. We can deal with that because we've got plenty of real estate over to this side. So let's see if we can't do something here with a bridge. We've got just enough room on this side to really make it work. And then we gotta go over the highway, and I'm gonna drop back down, and then I'm going to put a little nub right there, and then we are gonna once again turn to mods because we have them, and why wouldn't we? Can't wait till we have all these wonderful mods in Cities Skylines 2. Because it needs a lot of help. If you can't tell, I am not at all happy with Cities Skylines 2. It is a huge disappointment. And it just is. There's really no way to gloss over that. The game was released too soon. I get that companies have deadlines and budgets and all of that, and they eventually have to get a product out the door, but man, we all got scammed into buying a early access game without them acknowledging it's early access or any of the type of things that come along with it. Had it been early access, I'd be fine with the state that it was in, because that's kind of the deal with early access is, you're going into it and things aren't quite optimal, and there's going to be, some issues along the way, and that's to be expected. But, $90 for the premium edition, which is what, actually Destin is the one that bought it for me. With the condition that it's in, oof, not a good look. Paradox in Colossal Order, probably more Paradox than Colossal Order on that one, honestly. Feels like more of a publisher saying get it out the door situation than anything. Yeah, we've got a lot of people wanting to come over to here, and they're getting hung up because they have to merge with people who are wanting to exit, because we've got our diverging diamond here, and that seems to be causing most of the issue. But there is also a lot of traffic then wanting to go over to this, not a huge amount, but wanting to go over to this other side. So I don't know that the bridge is going to help a huge amount, but what we're going to do is I'm going to let this run for just a couple minutes and see if our traffic doesn't improve down there now that we're letting everything except delivery trucks go over these two bridges. And it's gotten better, but it's definitely not good. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. Just going to move on. I think that's the best thing to do at this point, is to just move on. So we do have some demand built up. Our unemployment is slowly creeping back down. I wanted to come back over here and see if I can't do what I couldn't do last time, now that the game has been restarted here, and copy some trees. There we go. Those are awful dense though. Let's get a different selection of trees somewhere. And let's get this little collection right here. I like these. Copy these and come over here. I do think we need to have... Oh, no, never mind. I can't do it still. Why? Why? Why does it do this? I don't quite get it. when I go to put them down, it just fails. Oh well. Okay, so we're not getting trees. So be it. Where was I going to go? Oh yeah, over here. I would kind of like to get this up a little closer to the highway. I feel like we're leaving a lot on the table, but I also don't want to just continue the grid out here, especially because we have these bridges. So we're just going to leave that. I'm just going to leave it as is and let it be. Sometimes that's your best course of action, is to do nothing at all. Like nothing at all. Stupid sexy flavors. But gonna go. Whoop, I was gonna say I'm gonna go with the grid here, and then immediately deviated from it. So you know, I like the new road tools in City Skylines 2 up to a point. The zoning is weird. It's real easy to like wind up with a section that you can't zone on, that you can't put any zoning on. And it doesn't seem like there's any rhyme nor reason to it. It'll look like the zoning is right up against the road, but then when you actually go to paint that zoning in and you're trying to control the size of buildings you get, because it goes with big buildings way too early in that game, they don't build. They just sit there, and the land is completely unused, and you're just like, why? And there is nothing to really indicate what's wrong with that particular area to help you fix it. So it's a bit frustrating at times to get things done. I don't know. It's everything about the launch has made me like. I had some plans for how I wanted to start telling stories with Cities Skylines 2, and those have kind of all fallen through now. I thought it would be cool to follow different citizens throughout their life and kind of let them tell our story for us. Problem is, a citizen could die or move away, and you get no notification, because you do have the ability to, add different citizens to the to a tracker, and that's kind of cool. But when that feature then doesn't tell you what happened to them, they're just suddenly gone, and you don't really know why. That kind of falls apart, and I'm not going to be able to utilize that because we won't have any way to know why they're gone. And I feel like without that, speaking of things not snapping, here, let's put it over here. And then move it back. No, it doesn't want to go there. Well, we'll just move it and make it go there. Since, we have moved it. But yeah, so I don't know that I'm really going to be able to tell those stories the way I wanted to. Because you don't get any indication of why they're gone. They're just gone. That was like I streamed Cities Skylines 2 the day it came out. At the moment it came out, so if you haven't seen that, it will be up on my second channel. Link is in the description below, and it will be up in a couple weeks. I usually do like a 15-day delay between Twitch streams and having them on the VOD channel. So you'll be able to check it out soonish, but it was just, I went to follow our very first person who moved into the town. That was my goal, is we're going to follow this person throughout their life, and it didn't work out because they just a year and a half later weren't there anymore, and I had no way of knowing why. That is the wrong side. And I would love to have this tool in Cities Skylines 2. To be able to control the zoning would be so nice. I'm not going to get a whole lot here, but we can get a little bit more than what we were going to have. Our commercial demand is here, but these aren't wanting to fill in. Interesting. Gonna go with some smaller commercial in some of those other spots. You know what? Actually, I take this back. I don't want to put commercial on the collector. That's just asking for problems. It is. We all know it is. I don't know why I was doing it. But yeah, there's just a lot of things in Cities Skylines too. It's just that are big head scratchers. It's just, you know, why are things functioning the way they are? They're like, oh, we've got this greatly improved simulation. I disagree. I think you have a new simulation, and it, you know, definitely is doing new things, but it's not doing predictable things. And that, whoa, hello, that is making it a frustrating experience. I wish I could say that I enjoyed the 12 hours that I've spent playing, but I didn't. I did not enjoy it at all. I think we could have some residential here along the shoreline. Just a bit, since we have the demand. Why not? And then let's check out services in this area. I think they should be okay. Yeah, healthcare, we are good. We are good with fire coverage, and we are good with police coverage. Putting in those larger precincts, I think, was the key to that. Bank coverage, not the best, but since this is all higher rise buildings-ish, we can get one in like here, and that'll give us good coverage throughout. So let's zone this in with just a mix of commercial and office and residential. I'm going to go big with commercial down through this strip and make this just a big central shopping corridor. And then we're going to go back down to low density to fill out this area. Let's go on that corner. We'll just leave that little bit there untouched. I think we should be okay with noise from our high density commercial with this residential over here. I don't think that's really going to have a huge impact. And then I want to bring offices in along the side of this because this will be very, very noisy. So we're going to get offices, and we'll just do a little strip all the way down here. And in fact, let's make this whole little section an office park, because it appears to be the thing I build these days. As my voice cracks, that was really, really bad. And then we will go with a little bit right there as well. And then we will switch over to some density for residential. Again, we don't need schools anymore because we have the Hadron Collider. And it's taking care of all the education in town. I'm just going to go really dense right here on this short. And then as we get over that way, I may taper back off. Though that's all kind of high density as well. I don't know. We'll look and see what he's built over there and see. Which is, actually, no, it's offices and medium density commercial. So we could indeed come in and go with another strip of commercial along through there. And let's fill this whole section in commercial right here, and even a couple right here. And then we can switch back down, and I'm gonna zone it all in. Go heavy with it. And I wonder if I can get this up to 150,000 a day. Unlikely, but I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens. Oh my god, this traffic is just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm going to get rid of zoning on this dude so that I can get a few more houses back here. They'll just have to live with the fact that they're right up against a very busy collector. But it will let us get more in. And then we will bring that in like that. And then we'll finish out this section with a bit of commercial and then maybe just a little office right there. Yeah, I like that little gap right there. So that sapped all of our demand that we currently have, and we have a massive traffic jam. Oof. It's getting better on this side. Like, all of this big queue has gone down, and this is going down. But now we've just got all of this. They're not turning left here anymore. We're there. You know what? Did I do that? I don't remember changing that in TMP, but I might have done. And that's what's causing the backup here, because all the traffic that's wanting to turn to go into here or even down this way, they're all making their left here. And everybody that's in here that wants to come out are all coming down there. So a little bit of congestion that we have going on. I might be able to bring in like one more bridge across here, but we don't have a ton of traffic going from one side to the other. Like, here's all there is on this light cycle going that way, and then there's a bit more here. I don't know how much of that came from the highway and how much of it came from the other side, so I don't know that there would be a massive advantage to doing this, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyway with one more bridge here. And we're gonna come across, let's come across in a really weird spot. That's about the only place that I have to do it. So we're gonna go ahead and go up here, even though we're still really far from the highway, and we're gonna go there. Let's make sure that really clears. It does. And we're just gonna bring it back down just in the middle of the road here. It'll be fine. And then I do want to do the same restriction of trucks. I don't want heavy trucks coming through here. There's what I want. I clicked it many, many times. There you go. No heavy trucks. Other than that, people can use this as they see fit. So let's get this area filled out, and then we'll move on to a couple things over in that direction. And while there's still quite a few upgrades taking place, I think we're in a good spot. I would like to just come in... Oh, where's my mouse? There it is. I would like to just come in some of these areas and add a few trees. Let's just go oaks, since we know that... Oh, that's big. Since we know that the copy tool from... Oh, that's why I couldn't do it. We've hit our tree limit. Aha. Interesting. Can I change this live? I don't think I can. Doesn't seem like it's letting me change it. Oh, maybe. Can I add more trees now? Nope. Probably have to reload. All right, well, we're not going to be detailing anything, are we? Because we can't. One thing I want to look at then is back out over here. Has this reached? It has. So, yes, I was right. The stage does wind up down there, and that is what I was wanting to find out. So I'm going to grab this and move it temporarily to there. I'm going to move that temporarily to there and this temporarily to there. And I'm going to redo this road here. Now that I know where my stage is and how this thing aligns and all that good stuff. And I want this looking kind of at an angle here. So I want to bring this road like, probably like about that. That'll work for me. And we're going to drop that back over here. And then I want the fan zone park to be right here behind it. Like it's overflow. It doesn't actually get to see the concert. You know, it's sad, but they're overflow. They didn't pay for the good tickets. So we're gonna throw Fan Zone Park here, and we're gonna bring in another road right beside that for our hot air balloon tours to go this direction. But I also want to get in just a bit of parking because, you know, I love my parking. And didn't leave enough room for it, so that's fine. We use these. There we go. A bit of parking, and then we're going to connect up to here. So grab that. Oh, nope. Grab that. And bring this down and around just a little bit, and then use the curved road tool to finish it off. And then these guys are all complaining about water pipes because they're no longer under the road where they belong. So we'll fix that. We will run one right here. So it kind of, not being able to place any more trees kind of means I can't do exactly what I wanted to do in this area. I wanted to make another nature reserve and kind of create like campsites around this area. Kind of just reminds me of a concert venue I went to for a big festival once upon a time, but it's fine. We're going to raise all these ticket prices. We've definitely reached limits, but when you go to a concert now, like, how cool is that view? Just the river, you can see the town in behind there, but mostly it's trees and hills and all of that, and that's just a great place to be. If you didn't get in early enough or didn't get your tickets in time, you can come over here in the Fan Zone Park, hang out, and have a bit of fun. We could maybe do just a bit of leisure out here. Just, I mean, when I say a bit, I mean like right there. Just tiny amount. That's leisure? Yeah, I want to make sure I had leisure. And we're just going to fill in a couple of little spaces here. We'll do a little bit behind the parking lot. I want to kind of control what we get here. There we go. That one's building. So now I'll come in with another one, and I'll keep doing this until this is all filled out. I'm going to leave that gap there. Oh, yeah, while we wait, I wanted to see what the countdown clock had changed to, and wow, it's QR code. Where does that lead to? Let me grab my phone here, and that just goes to probably Cities Skylines too, if I have to guess. As my phone now makes noise. Yeah, it's just Cities Skylines too. Just their website. Nothing more. Yeah, don't buy it. Wait 6 months to a year. Do not buy the link that leads to. It's not ready. It shouldn't have been released. Do not buy Cities Skylines 2. And if you have already, well, I'm sorry that you wasted your money. Because the game is not ready for prime time. I think in 6 months it'll be there. Maybe a year. But not yet. Not yet. Not till they fix some of the weird simulation problems with conflicting information between your RCI and what Chirper's saying, as well as just some of the erroneous things that Chirper's saying. There's just a lot that still needs to be ironed out in the game before I could recommend it to anyone with a clear conscience. Connect up and lead a path right there. That one's filling out. Cool. I can put that one there. Just waiting for something to build on this side. Just kind of hoping a concert would kick off over here. When is our next show? It is on August the 10th of $21.99. So tonight we're going to party like it's $21.99. Doesn't quite really have the same flow to it, does it? No, it doesn't. Cool. I kind of thought it was that in. But anyway, so for the next few minutes, I just kind of want to... I was going to finish detailing some areas, but that's not possible. You know why it's not possible? You saw why it wasn't possible. So instead, we're going to come over here where there is a massive, massive traffic jam. Boy. I go back and forth with this stoplight here. Like, honestly, right now, I think the stoplight's making it worse. Did I set it up with the alternative setup, or... Yeah, where they get a protected left and they go straight. Yep. So we're going to see these guys all go straight, and then after a little while, they'll stop going straight and they'll get protected left, so nobody's turning left. So maybe the standard setup would have been better here. So let's switch that out real quick. Just not going to sit here and watch to see if it really works. That's right. You got to... Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Am I on the wrong thing? I am on the wrong thing. So we're going to stop it. We're going to remove it. And then we're going to set it back up with the standard setup instead of the alternate, where one side of the time goes. And see if that's any better. Probably not, but that's not what we're here for. But this was our starting square. We started out with just a low density neighborhood here. It obviously has been rezoned, and there was industry over here, and this was a bottleneck, and it's a bottleneck again. So it's very fitting that it ends the same way the series began back in March, by the way, 7.5 months ago. If you have been along for the entire journey, thank you so very much. Those of you who have supported on Patreon, what I do is not possible without the ad revenue and the support that I get. And the ad revenue is not much. You can tell just by, looking at my channel. I don't get a bajillion views, so I don't make much in ad revenue, like maybe 40, 50 bucks a month. So Patreon and direct donations and the wish lists and Twitch subscriptions, and of course right here on YouTube, memberships. That is what keeps me going. So I never expect anybody to offer financial support. But if you're able to, and that's something you want to do, I very much appreciate it, because it does keep all of this in production. Yeah, we started off over here. It wasn't very long before we were able to get Broston County College up and running, and we expanded out. This little neighborhood here, granted the detailing's gone, but this tiny little squiggly neighborhood right here was Destin's very first contribution to the build. And I still really, really like it. I did have... This was a high school campus. I've just changed it to kind of like a city sports complex now that we don't have schools, because of the Hadron Collider. Left everything in except the high school right here, and I replaced that with the park with birches. I think it is fine. It still, looks like a place. It is still very much clear that this is a destination. Granted, the parking being here, maybe not necessary anymore since we don't have the school, but it's still something I'm really proud of. And one of my favorite things that I built in the game was this. I don't remember the exact order of progression, but I know that Destin moved over to this area right here fairly quick. It may have been after I built the shopping mall with its just sea of parking. Not 100% certain, but it was somewhere right around there. And of course, we just recently finished all this off in the live stream, adding in the extension to the college campus. It was necessary because we had a number of students who weren't getting an education. Plus, we needed something out over here to kind of fill this area in. We had a farm that was added in, and then we quickly moved up to the hillside where I built basically the town of Garnet Heights over a couple videos, and Destin brought us Park Hills, Linden Hills, and the no-name town with all the dirt roads. I just find it odd that you would have this architecture with dirt roads, but again, it's his build, not mine, so I'm leaving it alone. Oh, and then this little loop here was, granted I don't have a road there, but this little loop here was kind of reminiscent of where I actually live. I would live in that house right there. That would be, granted there's houses that go off in the corner this way, and it's not to scale, but it's kind of the little neighborhood where I live. A little country road coming up a hill, trees and fields and all that. And it's not that close to town, sadly. I'm like 10 minutes away from anything convenient. But yeah, we came out into the hills. At some point around that same time, I created this spaghetti that comes down the hill this way and down this way so that we could start supporting a really robust fishing industry and also have a lot of our utilities out over here. We've got most of, if not all of our water treatment. No, it's not all, it's most of. But most of our water treatment and power production is all happening out here. And we even have a bit of waste processing taking place out into this area. I don't remember, again, the exact order of operations here, but I want to say that the oil industry did come next, and it has grown over time to incorporate just zoned petroleum industry. You can see I took great pains to try to avoid this, where we could just get the random props, and that counts as a business. You know, whatever. But what it led to is a lot of repetition, unfortunately, with just the same building over and over again. But when you're out at this distance, it looks okay. We did go through and get the majority of the unique factories in. I think, in fact, we're only missing one or two. One, the shipyard. So this town has all but the shipyard for the unique factories, which is kind of cool. Then somewhere around that time, the Industrial Revolution and Brooklyn and all those packs started coming out. So we redid, even though I had already moved the industry back here, we redid it again. And we're very specific, and it was very painstaking to try to keep it to where you kind of had a story to tell here, where we had our older industrial area, and then as the cargo harbor, that's our hub, it's no longer really working because there's probably a train traffic jam again somewhere, or they've just broken again. That's a possibility. But as that came in, newer and newer manufacturing facilities came in, and it just, you can kind of see that visually represented. And of course, I did go through and leave a few legacy buildings over here. And then we have our Brooklyn inspired high neighborhood with the wall-to-wall buildings, but not in a pedestrian district. And I think they look really good together. And we have our Heart of Korea pack in through here with a fish market centering a completely walkable area. This is all, except for right around the edges, this is all pedestrian zone. And it was our first pedestrian zone, I believe, in the city. This came much later out over this way. Ignore this guy. I never got to finish that. It's sad that we have things that aren't finished, but I am also very proud of our zoo and the Hillside Experience amusement park, as well as how it flows into the sports arenas for the university, which is way over there. But I kind of dig it, and I really like our downtown. I think it's framed nicely. We've got a lot of attractions, a lot of tourism that's happening here, and we can bring people in very easily right here by the train or by ship. And of course, this train is connected out there to our airport, which is, I guess, where we can go next. Don't just pay no attention to this. I'm not proud of it, okay, but we had massive unemployment, and we had to do something about it. So that's there. Hey, we're almost to 150,000 people. Back over by our concert area, this is fairly recent, but just a small little neighborhood and some aviation-related tourism. We've got the Aviation Club and, of course, the Aviation Museum as well. Destin built out Elm Brook here. It is a nature reserve around a pond. I added in a little neighborhood just to the side. And, of course, that was long after Davies Lumber had moved in from Broston County, their first official expansion outside of outside of Pine Pass. This was their first campus, and it is even bigger than what we had in Pine Pass, so kind of cool. And then we have our ore industry that came over to here. We have our airport that looks like it might be working. I don't think so, though, because I don't see any planes. at the stands, and that one will probably pull in and immediately disappear instead of taking back off. And if we look, we do have some outgoing, so I guess it might be working somewhat now. I don't know, but that plane's it's just gonna vanish. Watch. Boop. There it goes. Yeah. And then of course we have the neighborhoods that grew up because of the industry out here, and the proximity of the airport with all the jobs, and of course another one of the things I really like. I like how the airline headquarters building turned out. It's over here all by itself by the airport, but I think they have a beautiful campus. I took my time with this one. Granted, the frame rate really struggles because of all the trees, but I dig it. If I got rid of all that detailing, we could probably detail the rest of the map. And then out over this way, I don't remember exactly where or who started over here first. I know I had built an interchange to facilitate growth out this direction, and I redid the highway a little bit. But I don't remember which one of us came out here first. But we do have a park, the university, and then just a nice neighborhood built up by Destin, and then the smaller one built up by Destin. And then that led us to kind of moving back toward the area that we had. I started over in this general area, and then Destin filled all of this in. After I built these mini districts, we came in and just kind of filled in over to here. And again, I like that we got away from the grid. Yeah, there is a grid in here, but I like that it's not just all one big grid, and that we definitely followed the rail, we followed the highway, and we followed the shore. Or the riverbank really well. Just another one that, other than just where we started with, which is just heavy grid. I feel that this is definitely an improvement. You can see both Destin's builds and mine just improving over the 7.5 months as we continued to... there's a forest fire. Yeah, burn down so I can build more. That's not the way it works. And then most recently, we've had this area where we neglected for quite some time, but it's filled in quite quickly. It's not done. I had more planned. I really wanted to get all of this filled out with a nice, small, quiet neighborhood. As it got away from this area, I really wanted to taper it off and give people big backyards with trees and parks and all kinds of things, but we're not going to get there. And then we have, of course, the mini hotels out here. This one is still too big. I had planned on also having a bit more density right here just to kind of make that not feel so big. But then up on the hill, we have kind of our European area that the architecture all works really well together. We've got the Heritage Hotel that looks really good with the Castle of Lord Chirpwick, and then all of the other European buildings that are here as well. I think they all look pretty fantastic, including the old Market Street that I was going to detail today. I was going to come in and do all the detailing and get this all looking good, but we have a tree limit. So that's been Broston County. 7.5 months of me building with one of my good friends. I've known Destin now for, 8 years. Never met in person. We met through GTA Online, became friends through that, and just managed to stay in touch all these years, even though we don't really play GTA all that much anymore. And it's kind of cool, how this was his idea. He was inspired by the 5 Builders 1 City Challenge, and I've greatly enjoyed it. I've learned a lot. He's learned a lot. I hope we have brought you entertaining videos. And thank you. Thank you once again to all the Patreon support, channel members, which there aren't any currently, but there were when we first started, I think. Twitch subscribers, and those who have made direct donations and even picked things up off of my Amazon and Steam wish lists. Thank you. It has been very beneficial. I look forward to bringing you Cities Skylines 2 content, but of course we still have to finish up Pine Pass next week. So look for that coming on Tuesday, and in the week after that, we will most likely start Cities Skylines 2, though I'm not 100% certain. I really have to figure out what we're going to do with it. Once again, thank you. And this is it. Broston County at an end. So, until next time, how fitting that we're just at the end of the world. Until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.